Hello and welcome to another episode of Video Games to the Max. I am your host, Sean Grammer, here with me, as usual, Mr. Mark Morrison.
Howdy.
And well, we are going to talk about that PlayStation State of Play that happened on Thursday. We have some other PlayStation news to get to, including Stellar Blade being the big game of its month, and some other news here with some delays, a game that finally might have a release date, and some more right after this.
You are listening to Video Games to the Max.
All right, so, well, before we get things going too far ahead, I guess let's just get this whole housekeeping out of the way here. Just to, in case this is your first time watching or listening, or, you know, 100th time, we do appreciate you. This is going to be our normal day that we do the show for the foreseeable future. It kind of works out just so I'm not rushing home from the gym or rushing to have to make sure that I pick up Anaya or something like that, even though she's done with school after this week. But, school starts again and all that stuff. And so, yeah, look for us on Mondays. It'll be probably more around the 5 o'clock-ish time. I did a little bit fast earlier today because I have to go do something. But it'll usually be around the 5 o'clock time on Mondays for sure. Because this week is such a big week, we may do something on Saturday so that we're not sitting there talking about 20 freaking showcases on Monday. But we'll get to that if it happens, or but yeah, I mean, this upcoming week, I think we all know Summer Games Fest is happening, so look out for that. We'll get to the schedule a little bit later, but yeah, we'll probably, at least so we can talk about Summer Games Fest, do something on Saturday, and then the rest of them we'll just cover on the Monday for that. But yeah, so look forward to us for this on Monday. That means for you guys on the podcast side, it'll be, if I can't get it out that Monday night, it'll be Tuesday for sure in the morning. You folks listening will get it then. Also, if you subscribe and you can watch on demand on the YouTube channel, WTM Network. You can also WTM Facebook, Twitter, or X now, whatever they want to call it. Twitch, all that. You can find us there. But on YouTube, we have all of our folks that help us out and do great stuff. Like the Radisson Broadcasting folks, they just did their Furiosa Mad Max Saga review. So if you're big into movies, especially the keeping up with the ones that come out all the time, they are always up on that, and they do a great job doing those reviews. Also with anime, same thing. They keep up with all the new anime. Otaku Cafe, you can go watch them as well. They kind of have a bit more of a scattershot schedule, whereas the Radless folks kind of have it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday kind of thing. But still, definitely go check out all the shows. And of course, us, you can listen to everything on podcasts a little bit later. To go find those shows individually, and you can go search for them there. So that being said, anything you've been playing of note we should talk about? Or
Yeah, Africa.
I saw you pulled out that PS3 and been playing
Well,
that.
more like I got my PS3 back. I sent it to a guy. I dropped it off to a guy, so I have to get it fixed up. Because that console was a bear.
Right, yeah.
So I got it working again, or got it working better. It's a lot quieter now. Yeah, Africa's cool. It's not. I thought it'd be more like Pokemon Snap, but it's not. Because Pokemon Snap is it's just on a rail, or it's just
Right.
ride this track along and then snap Pokemon. Yeah, Africa's not like that, because if you get out, you can pretty much stop the truck at any time and walk around and take pictures.
Yeah. Well, it was meant to more so you could kind of experience, I guess that's like what it would be like to do that and not be stuck in like a rail safari thing. But
right. And it's funny because Jens is talking up the soundtrack like it was the greatest thing ever,
Mhm.
and it's fine, but it's completely at odds with the game
That's funny.
because the soundtrack is like this big, bombastic. It sounds like the soundtrack for like Hook, or like
Yeah.
it'd be like a good fit for like Pirates of the Caribbean or something. Meanwhile, the gameplay is you riding around on rails to like the location, and then
Yeah.
you having to like slowly walk around.
Well,
And
they want to give you that sense of adventure still, you know.
yeah, but it's not an adventure to this. Fumble around this camera and
I
take pictures of
yeah.
shit.
I mean, well, that's why I said sense. Oh, it's like you're there, but you're not really like moving around like all that much and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, but other than that, the usual stuff. I guess I finally loaded up Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, and I guess they added a new character. I'm gonna grind out for that soon.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All right.
that's about it.
Yeah, we'll wait till the end to talk about the. I've been catching up on Doctor Who basically, so we'll talk about that at the end after we get done with all the gaming stuff. So I guess let's get going with the state of play, which that was sort of the big thing from this. I guess since the last time we recorded, we would have been like if we recorded on the normal Friday, we would have been like the day after, but I think this is going to work out better for the time being. So the first game that they really gave us a big look at is their other sort of live service thing that they've said is going to release this year, Concord. And well, I will agree with some folks that I saw that what Concord does is make me wish that it was a single player game. And I know that's going to make some people upset. But really, I felt like, okay, this is like them taking their own approach to Guardians of the Galaxy. It felt like,
Yeah, mixed with like it looks like a bad Overwatch clone.
yeah, exactly. It's like Overwatch, but they try to give them a lot of character, which I do appreciate. For that is like you can see the archetypes there, definitely.
Right.
And they said they're gonna bring in more sort of like vignettes like this, like animated thing, or not animated, but like just these kind of live.
In engine or yeah. My problem with that is like I think Team Fortress 2 did it best when they just had a vignette on each character, and then they had a few like later on, but they also only had 9 characters. They didn't have 15 or 20. So
Right. I mean, and Overwatch would do that too when they would introduce the characters and stuff like that too.
right.
So it makes sense. Like, yeah, I think that's the thing is I walked away, and I guess that's good, right? In a way, like you do want to be connected to these characters because you are playing as them in a way. But it's still sort of like it's a 5-on-5 team shooter. So how much of this is really going to be in the game aside from these moments?
I'm sure each vignette will be like 5 minutes, and then it'll be all right. Move on to the next one. Or what happens, like, let's say you get a posse of your 4 friends to play this thing somehow, and you miss a week. So it's like, okay, the next week you get 2 vignettes, or do you just get one, like the one from the week before, and now you're behind.
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to do that. Are they going to like save it to where you can see I mean, I'm sure you can also just watch these on people will upload them to YouTube. So like you're going to actually miss them if you want to seek them out. Yeah, it's just if this is your thing, I think that they did a great job in getting you excited for that. These are not my kind of things. If I had,
that's the problem. Well, that's the thing is like if this is your thing, you already have a game locked and loaded, or you already have a game that you care about. So,
but there is, I mean, they also it doesn't like they didn't help themselves, I think, by showing the other game that's similar to this in here, because honestly, I know Overwatch has a hole in it right now that a lot of people are not playing it because they don't like what they did with Overwatch 2, how they basically made Overwatch 2 kill Overwatch 1 and all that stuff. But it doesn't mean that there's not other live service games to play, like you mentioned. I do think that there is an availability for one to kind of slide in and maybe take that spot. But I think when there's one like Marvel Rivals that already exists, that's going to exist, and it was also shown in this showcase as well.
I mean,
yeah,
the thing is Marvel Rivals obviously has the Marvel franchise, or the Marvel IP, but it also looks like a worse game. And the
I
fact
will
that
agree with that. Yeah,
the fact that it's going to be run by NetEase means it's going to be even more microtransaction to death.
yeah, no, for sure.
So, and I don't know if you've kept up on the discourse of that thing, like that beta that happened a few weeks ago or whatever. Apparently, Spider-Man is like broken.
Yeah, well, it doesn't surprise me that some of those characters are going to be broken and they're going to have to nerf them. And I mean, isn't this happening every single one of these things where one character?
Yeah, but it's not even like, oh, he's too powerful, or his it was like him crawling on the wall is like very antithetical to that whole game, or to that what people expect. So people weren't even like considering him, considering that character, and then he could just decimate the entire opposite team.
I mean, but if he doesn't crawl on the wall, then I mean, people are gonna get upset.
Yeah,
right? That's like that's the thing is you need him to still be Spider-Man in a way. So yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like,
I guess of the two, I'd be more interested theoretically in Concord, but neither one of them's blowing up my shorts. Like, it's like,
yeah, I mean, but you like those games in a way. You played Overwatch for a while,
back in the day, but I also thought it was a lot more of a balanced game and a lot more fair.
Right.
Like, I don't particularly like season passes in games, just because like once you get to like the nitty gritty, or like the I'm playing Diablo 4, like I'm like in season, or not season, but I'm in like section 9 of the 10 section season pass, and it's like, okay, to do these last 3 goals, it's going to take me a while to grind it out, and then to do any of the goals last part of the season pass, it's like, oh my god, it's going to take me forever.
Yeah.
See, I liked Overwatch 1 because it at least gave you the appearance of, hey, you did a match, get a loot box, per day, or you did this Halloween event, you get a few loot boxes. Like, it's all randomized, but you at least had the perception that you might get something good.
No, you're right about that. Yeah, I thought my phone was going off for a while.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I look. You still have. It has yet to be seen. We'll get. When we get more on people actually that have played it and everything, we'll see how it goes. But I mean, look, they're trying a different thing than just putting out a 5v5 game and going, here we go. Like Marvel Rivals, like you already know what those characters are, so I guess you don't need the whole introductions and all that stuff. But hey, at least they gave us some stuff to kind of sink our teeth into with that, and it kind of drew me in. Whereas if you just showed me the gameplay with nothing else, I wouldn't have cared at all. I would have been like, okay, skip. I mean, I would have watched it because we have to talk about it, but I would have been like waiting for the thing to be over, especially because I think they took up like the first 12 or 13 minutes with this game. So yeah, they did a better job of getting people interested that maybe aren't going to be interested in it than they would have if otherwise. They also showed what God of War, Ragnarok, and we knew Until Dawn was coming to PC, but more Until Dawn, and then God of War, Ragnarok coming to PC. Herman Hulst also reiterated that as well in their talking about stuff before this state of play, that is going to be the thing going forward. A lot of people kind of speculated. I mean, we did too, about what does this mean that Hiroki Toki's talking about? We're going to have to put more things on other places and all that stuff. Does this mean that they're going to start doing less time between games being on PS5 and then being on PC? And Herman Hulst says no. There's going to be time between that PS5 game coming out to PS5, and then especially the single player game. The live service game, he did say for sure it is going to be coming day and date, just like we got with Helldivers 2, and that worked out great for them. But honestly, if you're PlayStation, every time one of your games releases on PC, it is the highest selling thing on Steam or whatever that week that it comes out. So you have no indication to move that up. It doesn't matter. People are willing to wait. I think they showed it was like 8% of people actually end up buying a PS5 to play the sequel, which is very small, but still a significant amount. And then obviously there's the people that just they own everything because they can and whatnot.
Right.
There are people that don't want to move. They're not going to move, right? The people that are willing to wait, they'll just wait, and you're not going to move them no matter how great the sequel is or and all that stuff. But they did announce those, so you know what the next game coming to PC for the big PlayStation stuff is after that. Then they showed kind of just some smaller stuff, it felt like, that kind of was either okay or all right, that's fine. Like, I don't know, did anything like pop out to you that, you know, they did do a Dynasty Warriors game.
Or Origins, which it's not a fighting game, so fuck that game.
Well, Dynasty Warriors, so
Dynasty Warriors.
affecting...
No, Dynasty Warriors was originally a fighting game.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm saying like they haven't been a fighting game in a long time.
That's the origin of Dynasty Warriors. So
yeah.
I actually thought that Infinity Nikki game looked kind of cool, like that princess.
Yeah, that's the next one from the
photo
shift.
game.
That's the Shift Up folks, right? So,
and I thought it was funny that it immediately, like, it went from, I think, Dynasty Warriors to that thing, then to like that Stars horror game or whatever the fuck it was that wasn't Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. So it felt like a weird tonal disconnect.
They also had that like live beta or that like sort of, I don't know if it's dress up anime girl game or that's definitely like
that is Infinity Nikki. Yeah,
I don't know. I just it's one of those where it's like, okay, I guess we'll see what all that's gonna be.
It was funny. I watched that thing twice with two different streamers, Jeff Gerstmann and then Asmongold. And Jeff was like, "This looks kind of cool," and Asmongold was like, "Oh, this is not for me at all." And I'm like, "Yeah, no shit."
Yeah, I mean, they always show a variety in these things, so
yeah. I don't know. That Monster Hunter game looked fine.
Yeah, it's Monster Hunter. It feels like it's going to be more open, I guess, than the other Monster Hunters.
Well, hopefully it has a modern infrastructure and not one they're using that's from 20 years ago.
Yeah, they had what looks like that Souls-like game, that Ballad of Antara.
Yeah.
Sort of in there. That looks sort of interesting as well.
Yep, and they announced your big game finally.
Yeah. The big game at the end was the game that we talked about last week, the Astro Bot PS5 game. Super excited about that. And you know,
I figured
yeah.
No, I was gonna say, like I said last week, I figured they're gonna have some stupid dumb subtitle or like Astrobot's Universe Adventure or something, something like that, not just Astrobot.
I guess you could, because technically it is the first Astro Bot game that doesn't have to do with VR. So, there's going to be 80 levels in this thing.
Yeah.
6 different galaxies, I think they said. It does look like they're trying to just do like a bigger version of the Astro's Playroom. They still have some of the kind of odes to the PlayStation with the old characters, and
I think I saw like a PS4 or something in there. Or
they show like a PS5 like powering up or whatever, and coming out from the desert there. It looks great. Like, I'm so excited for this, and the fact that it's coming out this year, September 6th. That's awesome. I was not expecting it to be that quick. I thought maybe fall or further in the fall, or if anything next year.
I mean, it kind of has to come out kind of soon because they don't got much left, or they don't got much unannounced for this year.
Yeah, I mean, but aside from what Silent Hill 2, the
Yeah.
remake or what, or yeah, Silent Hill 2. So, they showed more of that too. That looked fine. Or it looks like it's been looking.
Yeah, it's fun. I have a lot of discourse in that game, and it's like I just want to yell at people like Silent Hill's always been bad. Like,
yeah, Silent Hill has always been this way. You guys are like misremembering a lot of things about that game,
yeah.
or that series.
I think Silent Hill reminds me of like people who are like really into Silent Hill are the people who like. I think I saw this like 3.5 hour like lore video to Elden Ring that some guy made, and it's like you need a life, or you need.
But there's people that like that stuff though. I mean,
yes, they also need lives. Like,
to be fair, I've watched my share of lore videos for other things, Final Fantasy or whatever. So I don't. If that's the game you like,
Well, at least Final Fantasy presents itself as having a story.
Yeah. I get it. I'm not even a big Elden Ring person at all. And
right, you didn't even play the game. So you can't.
But I'm saying
judge.
I get the people that do find the lore and that stuff. It's just you really got to go find it, I guess, right?
Yeah.
It's not very in your face.
Right.
Sort of.
It's like what's the lore to EA FC 24,
No, definitely if you're trying to find lore at EA FC 24, I don't know what to tell you there. But this was fine. It's like most state of plays, right?
Yeah.
They had the big thing at the end.
Yeah, I still think that like they need like a better pitch man, or like an actual host, or like company man or something like that. Who's I feel like charismatic.
Yeah, they have Sean Benson come out at the end to kind of just announce the days of play stuff. I was surprised she didn't come out to just at least say something about the Astro Bot thing. Like, the last time she made a big deal about the Final Fantasy 7 stuff when she was on. But, this one was way better than the last one, at least. There were some games people were sort of wanted to see more of. You got the big, I guess, surprise announcement at the end. And you got a lot about Concord. So if you're excited about Concord, I think that was a win for you. If you're not, there may not be that much in here for you, but that's kind of how it goes with these things sometimes.
Right.
Obviously, it probably dampers people's expectations. I think they probably wanted a PlayStation show, like a full-on PlayStation showcase, but I think that's because they've already told you they don't have big franchise games that they're going to have until next year, right? It's funny, I guess maybe they don't consider Astro Bot a franchise. Technically it has 3 games. But,
but only 2 of them were like retail, and only the other one is the only one people care about.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I guess they're waiting on what happens with this one before they call it a franchise. But I mean, they separated Team Asobi out of Japan Studio on purpose, and then Nick's Japan Studio, and kept them around. So I feel like I get it if you're saying Astro Bot is in a different class than your God of Wars and Horizons and all that stuff. Okay, fine. But to me, I think it's still a franchise, But I get it. Whatever they decide. We talked about the PC, PlayStation stuff. The other thing is that they reiterated that PS4 is still important to them. I mean, and why not when it still makes up 49 million users, which is insane to think about. That
not real. I mean, look at the economy, and then look at like there still aren't. I mean, there's a lot of PS5 games on PS4 in limited, and reduced aspects, but they still are functional.
I meant more in the aspect of considering previous generations, right? Like you wouldn't at this point, you might still have a lot of people using them, but you don't have like people just outright maybe still buying them, and then you're still using them like every day like that. Probably has to do with Fortnite.
I mean, I don't think Microsoft has as much because they have the lower price alternative with the Series S, but like Sony didn't cut off the PS4, or it's like they just said, like, hey, it's still going. So
I mean, they didn't cut off the Xbox One either, but the thing is that there was a line drawn in the sand with there's not any more games coming to the Xbox. Like they stopped. I mean, PlayStation did too, but it's more about there's definitely way more PS4 people playing Fortnite still on their PS4 or whatever live service game they play on there, or whatever older game they play on there, as opposed to buying a PS5 for games that, like you said, until really what's the like Stellar Blade and Final Fantasy 7 and there's a small number of games that are only PS5. Most of the big ones all came to PS4. Horizon, God of War. So they don't play anywhere near as good on the PS4, but if that's all you got, then whatever. Spider-Man 2, I think, also didn't come to PS4.
But I also think a lot of people, like, they don't care about that type of stuff necessarily. Like, Uber graphics or 4K gameplay, all that crap. Like, as long as it's functional enough, they'll get by.
No, yeah, for sure. That's another thing that's important, but it's for some people, they don't want to hear this, right? They want this generation to move on, but this has just been a weird generation. That's how it's been. It feels like the PS4 and Xbox One just kind of never went away. And the PS5 is kind of feels like very, very incremental at times because of that.
I mean, I was just at a Walmart today, and I think Xbox is slightly better about this, but like half the games being sold in the Sony section for games were PS4 games.
Right.
And it's like, okay, the PS4 has been out for at least 3 years, or if not 4, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem.
Yeah, and like if you look at just looking at the stuff that's coming out just this week, so much of this stuff is still coming to PS4.
Yeah.
And Xbox One. Right? And like the smaller things. We're not talking about the huge first party ones, but like everything that is like third party AA indie stuff.
Yeah.
Even Rocksmith Plus is coming to PS4. Like you have stuff that you go, okay, this should probably just only be on PS5 at this point, but it's like, no, it's like, if we could put it on Switch, like, why not put it on PS4? Now, Xbox is a different deal. Not everybody's doing that because of the, return on investment on that kind of stuff, and that's fine. It is what it is. But, like, even when you have remasters or ports, like, what really would be the benefit of having Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin come out on PS4 other than the fact that there's 49 million PS4 users out there and you want to placate to all of them? It's crazy. It's crazy to think that. Like this in the article itself, it says like this didn't happen with the PS3.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It was like, the first year of titles, maybe, but that was about it. It's like after that.
Yeah, and your sports games or something like that, but very rarely after that.
Right.
So it's just crazy to think about, and it will probably still be a thing. We'll be talking about the PlayStation 5 Pro and maybe even the PlayStation 6, and we're still talking about games that came out that are coming out on the PS4. It's just crazy to think about that. The way that it's kind of just been a very, very slow progression with this generation. But moving to sales stuff for a little bit here, Stellar Blade. And this is crazy because Stellar Blade was only out for like 4 days in April. And it was the number 1 game in the US. Helldivers 2 was still number 2. And then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 held at number 3. Sea of Thieves jumped 41 places.
Yeah.
41 to be at number 4. So y'all
It's
folks
No, I was gonna say it's funny because for every one Xbox sells 41 PS5 sales.
yeah,
Sell instead.
exactly. That's the thing is look at all these people that were talking junk about, oh man, those games suck, but as soon as they show up on your system, here you go. You're buying
Yeah.
it. And listen, you keep seeing this for you Xbox folks. I'm sorry to tell you, the more you keep seeing this kind of stuff, the more and more you're going to see more Xbox games show up on PlayStation, unfortunately. And it's not just Sea of Thieves. It's also Grounded. Grounded went 155 places to number 12. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, both of these are live service. We aren't seeing like Hi-Fi Rush. I mean, Pentiment, I never expected that to really do anything, but we're not seeing Hi-Fi Rush beyond. I think it wasn't out yet. It came out on the later. But still, I'd be shocked to see if Hi-Fi Rush made it into the top 10. As opposed to these games which are live service, so you can get people to play with you and stuff like that. But let's see what happens. But the other ones, maybe not as shocking, but still shocking because of them being old games. Fallout 4 jumped 82 places to be at number 5 because of how popular that Amazon show was. And Fallout 76 jumped 151 places to be at number 8.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they have done a lot of work with that game. So hopefully people are enjoying it. And
they added in a story and characters. So that helps.
All the NPCs they finally added that should have been there.
Did you see the rumor that, Microsoft wants Bethesda to make, or, the Fallout 3 remaster, and they expect that to generate $200 million? And it's like, that's a tall order. Like,
really? Okay.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know about that generating 200. Are you not going to put it on Game Pass? Because that's probably maybe the only way. Like,
even that, I mean, because it's like, okay, even if I went on Game Pass plays it, you're not like getting in new player or new users.
Okay, so what you're telling me is that thing is going day and date to like everything, right? Then, because if it's only on Xbox, there's no way it's 200 million.
Right, and gonna have to, yeah.
No, it has to go on Switch 2. It has to go on PlayStation 5. It has to go on PC, and it has to go on Xbox. Like
that was the rumor for like the Tango Game Works. Like they were like, oh, if we make Ghostwire Tokyo, it's only going to be 2. It's going to be like $90 million. That's what the profit will be. Right. And I think it was like Dishonored 3 was going to be like 80 million or whatever, like a small number. But then like, oh, Fallout 3 remaster will generate $200 million, and it's like, okay, is it gonna? Are you gonna make like a print and press in the back room? Like, how is he going to do that? Like,
I mean, I guess if you tie it with season 2 coming out, and that's the brand new game, maybe
it's Fallout 3 though, so it can't tie it in, or not unless you really fuck around with season 2 of that show, like transplant it to Washington D.C. or something.
Yeah, like, but even look, Fallout 4 had nothing to do with that show really that much either.
I know.
Other than so. If you're going to say Fallout 3 remaster or remake or whatever comes out the same week as season 2 of Fallout, and you say this is the new game and you promote the crap out of it on Amazon, I think you could possibly get some help there. Yeah. But I don't know about that kind of money. But again, who expected these old ass games to show up on these top of the sales charts, and will they still be there, when we talk about May, or will it just be the 1 month hype and that's it, so
yeah,
that's another thing that we'll see as it goes on.
Right.
But speaking of older franchises, Metal Gear Solid Delta has probably been delayed till 2025. Thanks to the data miner leaker Biblikun, that he was right again. He's the one that leaked the stuff about Astro Bot. So
That'd be a bummer especially for Sony.
Yeah, but I think it being a remake and it being made by not Konami,
Right.
I think it's probably better for it to come out when it's ready than just come out because you need something to come out this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know some people are going to be disappointed, but we haven't really seen much of this game, to be honest. So
I mean, I'm one of them. Like, I really
Yeah.
hope that game does well and like modernizes MGS3 because MGS3 had some really funky systems.
you think it will? I feel like they're going to try to not do too much to it.
I think they kind of have to, like that camo system, or like how or especially like the surgery system, or the injury stuff. Like, oh, I gotta dig out the bullet wound with the knife, and then sanitize it, and then put a band. Like, I'm sure it'll just have like easy mode, or like if you don't want to fuck with this shit, here's a ration, just go eat it, like every other Metal Gear game.
Right. But yeah, I mean that's delayed and also actually confirmed to be delayed. Little Nightmares 3.
Yeah.
I like the Little Nightmares series, so this is kind of a little of a bummer, but again, I'd rather this game come out and be good.
Yeah, be good. Right.
It is one of Bandai Namco's kind of like, it's a smaller-ish franchise, but there are fans of it. That's why they keep coming out with it. Both Randy and I like that Little Nightmares 2 and the first one. So,
right.
Yeah. Hope this delay helps them with the game being great as the other two have been. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown actually has a release date. It feels like this game keeps getting delayed over and over again, including 2022.
Yeah, wasn't it supposed to be out like a year ago, or like October or something like that? Was like the original
September 2022 was when it was originally supposed to come out.
Hey, they're only out to Mark by 2 years.
And now it doesn't have a PS4 Xbox One version. Looks like the Switch version has been unofficially canceled. So, and it's only available on Steam is what it looks like. So maybe they did some kind of exclusivity thing with Steam. And then, so basically it's only going to come out on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC and all that time. Probably better for that game so that it's not having to be tied to old hardware. This is supposed to be kind of more like a social lifestyle game that has like the open world racing in it. And it has, it's based in Hong Kong, and it has, I think, like 100 different licensed cars. So, yeah, it's not this big old huge 500 freaking cars and all that stuff. It's sort of a smaller experience, it feels like. But I don't know. I like the test drive games.
I like that last one. Unlimited was kind of fun, or Unlimited 2, and the first one were all right. So we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it being Nacon, we'll see if this winds up being good or not. But
yeah,
I guess cool that it finally has a release date. At least.
Yeah, it wasn't just canceled altogether.
Speaking of things moving release dates, we talked about it last week. Grand Theft Auto 6 did move its release date to like fall, autumn of 2025. But the question still remains about, well, what happened? Why we never announced a PC version? Like, oh, you got to have a PC version. And Strauss Zelnick did his thing where he's kind of like, look, we didn't talk about it, but we didn't say no. So I guess the only thing that's left is for there to be an announcement at some point, but we don't have an announcement right now. And just, be coy about it. Look, they've done this before. It's not new. Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5, Red Dead 2, LA Noire,
they're not a day and date company. And the PC version will take longer, but it'll be better.
Exactly.
And, if you can't wait, buy a PS5 or buy an Xbox, and there you go.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't even released the original Red Dead on PC yet.
Yeah.
There's still rumors about if that's going to happen. So I think folks that are upset about there not being a PC version, you just know you got to wait, buy your console or use your console that you have and play the game, and then get it on PC again. Whatever. Do the mods.
For people going like, well, how come GTA 6 isn't on PC? He should just go, oh, we have a product for those people. It's called GTA 5.
Right? You're still gonna be playing that there, so
Yeah.
why not? But sadly, if we're gonna stay with Take-Two here for a second, they went from closing Roll 7 and the Kerbal Studio Intercept Games to then saying that no, we didn't close them, to then saying that pretty much expect that Intercept Games is only going to last until the end of June, to now they just want to possibly close the entire Private Division label. Insane how this has evolved over time, and not a lot of time either. Just absolutely very quickly. That sucks, man. Like, they just put out No Rest for the Wicked. Like, I mean, they still have studios out there.
Yeah, it's still being worked on, but
yeah. But that's the thing, right? Like, okay, what happens to this game if you close it?
at least what Moon Studio, whatever the hell makes it, they're still around, or they're still an independent studio, so they can still make it probably, or they can. The rights might revert back to them, or they can.
Right, but I mean, they were getting funding from Private Division, so how does that affect the continuous nature of that game, at least the way it is right now? Game Freak's also working on a game with them too. Like, I get it. Okay, indie games aren't making the big bucks, and that's probably what they're doing. They're just trying to offload.
Unless it's Hades 2.
Yeah, unless it's Hades 2, or the one that hits the cash at that point, the big seller.
I think a lot of problem is also like the Outer Worlds is now owned by Xbox. Hades is going to be self-published, I assume, just like the first one.
Yeah.
And Outer Worlds, I mean, Private Division is always just a publisher for other people's works, and it's like, well, we don't have to do this, or
Yeah, you don't have to. They're not gaining much they're just giving out money, and then they're not getting much back from those games, right? I'd imagine that part of that reason is that Kerbal 2, Roller Drome, all the other world didn't do amazing when it comes to sales,
right?
So
yeah,
that's why they did those deals with PS Plus and Game Pass and all that stuff too. Is, they probably didn't expect it to do wonderful numbers, so they probably are just kind of looking at this and going, we're kind of losing more than we're winning here. We're winning in critical acclaim, but we're not winning in the sales department, which is what matters the most, to them. So
they can free up another $10 for GTA 6 development.
Yeah, exactly. Now we can really charge the whatever we want for that. Speaking of more bad news, Just Cause Studio, the Avalanche Group, they are going to reduce their total workforce by approximately 9%. They've shut down its studios in New York and Montreal. They still have the 2 in Sweden and the 1 in Liverpool, which is interesting because it feels like everybody's closing their UK studio. So it's kind of interesting to know that they're closing the American one.
Yeah, but they're more of a European company, so it makes sense.
I guess that's true. Very true on that. Yeah, I mean, not great. This is another thing that's happening in the industry. So
yeah, but also you got to look at Avalanche. Like, they haven't made a ton of stuff lately. Like,
no, they were working on that game, that Contraband game, or they are for Xbox Game Studio. So
yeah, but like their last game was Rage 2. That was 5 years ago, and that didn't set the world on fire.
No,
also,
it did not.
Just Cause 4 was like their previous game, and again, not the greatest game.
Not the greatest game, yeah.
I did find the recent Mad Max stuff pretty funny, though.
Yes. That was
about him shit talking the game, and the studio guy was like, "What? Like, you helped us first of all."
Yeah, really.
Fuck you. Like,
it's like, also that game was actually really good. So what are you shitting on it for? Like, But yes, just really quickly here to talk about the Summer Games Fest stuff that we know is coming this week. So I know everybody's excited. We're excited. It's going to be a lot of stuff to compress with here. But let's see if it delivers. It's actually starting a little bit early on Thursday with the Gorilla Collective. Actually, good on them for getting out of the shadow of the Summer Games Fest like day and opening and all that stuff. Being first, I think lets people sit with it for a while. You have the whole day to yourself. After that, they're going to do the accessibility summer showcase, then Summer Games Fest at 5 Eastern. So I should have noted that the Grow Collective is at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific on Thursday, June 6th for people. That morning, right at 11 a.m. is the accessibility one. And then at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific is that Summer Games Fest. Right after that's Day of the Devs as normal. And then after that, you get the Devolver Direct, which you know is going to be hilarious. So you have those three back to back there to kind of help you get through your Friday if you got nothing else going on. Then Saturday, pretty much all day, there's going to be stuff. You got the Future of Play thing at 11. You got Wholesome Direct after that. You got Latin American Games Showcase. I'll be watching that for sure. You got the Women-Led Games, Summer Games Fest, Future Games Show. Then Sunday is Xbox, which we know is, that's at noon. Then you got the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 thing. You got PC Gaming Show there. And then after that's on Monday is Ubisoft. So we'll be recording like right after the Ubisoft thing, probably, or pretty close to that. So yeah.
That Ubisoft one is just going to be about how big XDefiant is, right?
Well, they are adding Assassin's Creed and all this other stuff to it, Rabbids and stuff. So, I guess they're planning a lot of things for it. Why not?
Yeah, they also added Assassin's Creed shit into Final Fantasy 15. Look how well that worked.
But that's different. That was actually sort of, I'm sure they will show more Assassin's Creed stuff on that thing and all the other ones that we know. Maybe some surprises there. Maybe Beyond Good and Evil 2 will finally appear. I don't know. But yeah, that's a lot of stuff, a lot of showcases for all you folks, especially if you're into the not just the big games but the indies. There's a lot. And I'm sure there will be stuff afterwards too. This usually doesn't end right with this, but I'm glad that again they're kind of condensing this, making it feel more like E3 used to be and not this, oh my god, a whole month long of Summer Games Fest. Jesus Christ,
not stretching it out forever.
Yeah.
We're showing 2 more games this week. It's like great.
I'm sure there will be people that kind of piggyback on it and kind of try to do the thing where they announce a game or something like that. But this is way better than what it used to be. Way better. But that's it for the gaming stuff here. I don't really. There is, I guess, some things. If, like I said, Rocksmith Plus is coming on the 6th. If you want to play it on console, PS5 and PS4, you got that. There's a Rabbids game coming to mobile, Legends of the Multiverse. So, if you're huge on the Rabbids, go for that. You folks that play your games on your phone. And the game everybody's waiting on, Tour de France 2024.
Can't wait.
That's coming to the consoles and PC except Switch. So, Song of Silence, again, interesting indie game that comes out tomorrow. And that Killer Clowns of Outer Space, which doesn't have good reviews, also comes out.
That's not surprising.
Yeah,
I could have made a bet on that.
Yeah, right. Destiny 2, The Final Shape, also. I know there's a lot of those Destiny folks that have been waiting on this expansion. So there you go. Tomorrow you get your fix of more Destiny 2. So all right. That Doctor Who's episodes 2 through 6, because the first one was a Christmas special. That we talked about already. What'd you think about Shooty and Millie and all the getting Russell T Davies back and all this stuff? What do you think about these episodes?
I think they're mostly fine. I don't like the first episode. The Space Babies one is dumb. And
Well, it was supposed to be creepy a little bit, but yeah.
Well, this made me think of like the stupid dancing baby from like Ally McBeal, like 30 years ago or whatever,
Yeah, I kind of thought about
or
that.
20 years ago. I think it's funny. Well, I mean, Russell T Davies is gay, Shooty is gay. The only like definitive villain they've had in the show, at least in these first 5 episodes, has been a drag queen.
The maestro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's a choice
Yeah.
because every other villain is just nameless corporation or like.
Right. I mean, but it brings that into like I guess the modern you can have anybody be a villain kind of thing, and it is attached to sort of the toy maker from
That's kind of my
so.
bigger problem is I don't like this like weirdly fanciful or like this like fantastical or not fantastical like fantasy bent the show has now. Like the idea of that 73-yard show is good. Like, okay, here's this creature or whatever that's is always 73 yards away from Ruby that causes terror whenever people like talk to it. Okay,
Right.
but the way they got rid of the doctor was like, oh, he broke a fairy circle, and I'm like, what? Like they
Yeah.
couldn't have gotten rid of him any other way, or oh, the TARDIS just magically flew off, or I mean, there was kind of that cool shot like 50 years or 40 years on the road.
Yeah, where they show her when she's older and all.
Yeah, that was cool, but like they didn't like that was it. Like it just that type of stuff. Did you watch the most recent one, the Bubble and
I
Doc
watched
one?
half of it, and that's
Okay.
the one
Oh
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
on before.
I like that one quite a bit.
It seems to be a play on the whole Gen Z and the you can't get out of your screen
right
kind of thing. Yeah.
I mean,
like,
I don't know if you saw Black Mirror
yeah,
back in the
Black
day,
Mirror.
but it's a play on that one, like one of the episodes from that. I like it. I think it's a lot better than Jodie Whittaker's run for even like the lesser episodes. Like some people don't like Boom. I thought it was fine. I mean, but I think the weakest one has been Space Babies.
Yeah.
Especially with
I think people didn't like Boom because Moffat's the one that wrote that one, so they just want to hate.
Yeah, that was Jens a little. But,
yeah.
And it like I think Moffat is too like I think both guys are too in love with certain technology or certain like the fact that this old woman keeps repeating it in these shows, and Russell T Davies is like, we're repeating that actress because we couldn't get anyone else. It's like, no, you're full of shit. She obviously has some important role.
Well, yeah, they're not going to give that away,
right.
kind of thing. I did like the Maestro episode a lot, though. Like, going back to the Beatles and getting to see them, and then having them be sort of the circle of, oh, well, there's no music, but we went back to like when this is amazing music, and then I thought Millie did a great job in that episode of like she was very much a central character there. And I did like that Boom episode too, where they're like in that fake war kind of thing. They did it like to have suspense the entire time where they really don't even move from there that much, and the doctor's just on that landmine thing the whole time. I thought that was.
They should have just renamed it to Silent Hill.
Right.
I really like this run, or I like it. I wish there was more like traditional Doctor Who shit, and it's extremely unlikely. I mean, we got 3 episodes left that they're gonna have anything to do with that. And it's also very obvious that Ruby is gonna be like a descendant of the toy maker, or she's involved with him somehow, like because I think the Maestro said like, oh, you're part of the oldest one, so it's okay, she's probably going to be, it'll probably be like toy maker had a kid, had a son, and the son was involved with Ruby's conception. That's gonna be my theory.
I mean, they said that there's also this oldest one that waits, so like there's another one beyond just the toy maker that's kind of there,
And then the season, that Boom episode already introduced a new companion actress. The Indian act. I forget her name.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But she was like the like mom character kind of, or like the the one.
Yeah, she was the soldier that like had the guy that liked her, but
yeah, I don't think it's not gonna be the same character, but
right.
same actor. It's just like what they did with Clara in that run.
Okay, where she's only gonna be the one for the one season or whatever.
No, what I mean with Clara, like they introduced her like early on, and you don't know, they didn't know who she was, or it's like, oh, this is a good guest actress. Like, no, she is a new companion actress. So I think the season 2, what they'll do is they've been a little coy about. I think Millie won't be a companion, but she'll still be on the show quite a bit,
right?
And it'll be kind of like a big reset of this new companion, but Millie will have like a more cosmic role in the show or something like that, because she'll have like unlocked powers or something along those lines.
Yeah, as long as it's not connected to TARDIS again, I think.
Yeah,
we're good.
But the one other thing is, I really appreciate that the show has a budget now. For if Disney has continued to pony up the money for it, like the show looks really good.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too. It looks like an actual. Feels like you are going somewhere into space, and it feels special again, not where it's like, okay, we really cut this down a lot. So,
and I still really hate the Doctor's sonic screwdriver remote thing.
Oh, that thing is it's still weird. Yeah, it's definitely still weird.
He's also I don't think he's used a psychic paper at all.
No, he hasn't. It's only been the sonic, and then Millie.
I mean, it's even like they've barely even been in the TARDIS, it seems like, also. So
yeah, they barely show them. I think they showed them a lot in the episode with the Maestro, and then I did like that whole thing where she could she could make the TARDIS light up with the music or whatever, because she control it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they haven't really been in it. That whole episode with her, the 73 yards, like they're not in it at all most of the time. Boom as well, they're not in it. It's like they get there and then it's kind of gone. It just becomes about whatever place they go to.
Right.
I kind of can see like where a pal of mine from the Outer Haven, Todd, that's been doing the reviews over there. He's been saying that a lot of them have kind of been kind of depressing. And I was like, yeah, I can kind of see that a little bit. It's a lot of sad stories, right? Especially the Boom one's very sad. The 73 yards one kind of gets sad. The last one kind of gets a little bit sad as well, but that's more of like
73. I mean, I guess most of them do kind of have a happy ending to an extent. Like, oh, the space babies got their nanny, or 73 yards. It's a big cosmic reset button that gets flips the switch. And even Boom, like she's able to save the daughter. Like, he ends the war essentially. So
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I like it. I'll continue to watch the next. I think there's 3 episodes left, and then have to wait 2 more years for the next season.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully they keep they give us good ones at the end, and kind of let's see if they start off some cool like big ones that are going to take multiple parts or something like that for the next.
I mean, season. I think it's a problem with the show at the moment. There's only going to be 8 episodes this season.
Right.
And they've traditionally done 10 to 13. So it's slightly truncated.
Yeah, I think Disney kind of just wanted to see how it goes with Shooty and everything before they just order a lot.
All right.
So got 3 left. Let's deliver on those.
Yep.
But all right, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you, everybody, for watching, listening. We do appreciate you. You can go subscribe on the YouTube channel or on podcasts, whichever you prefer. Leave a review there. Go like, follow, all that stuff on the YouTube channel so you can get everybody else's stuff as well. They do great work there. And, well, until for sure next Monday, perhaps also Saturday, we will see y'all with Summer Game Fest going on. Get excited. Later.